Now we're going to meet the leader of a top program in Ohio. For more on that, here's my well-traveled colleague, Joe McCann.
They have a proud football tradition at Warren G. Harding High School. It includes such names as Corey Stringer, Maurice Claret, Mario Manningham, and Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. This year, the Raiders' star player is Lynn Bowden, and he can do pretty much anything. You often hear the term athlete in recruiting, referring to players who could play a number of positions at the next level. That describes Lynn Bowden pretty well. While he settled in as a quarterback at Harding, he could fit in just about anywhere in college.
Most of the college coaches that I talk with, and that as I see him at the next level, foresee him at the next level, is probably a slot guy, a guy that you got to get the ball in his hands. But he could be a corner if he wanted to be a corner. He could be a physical, strong safety if he wanted to do that. But I just think, he's the type of young man that, you got to try to keep the ball in his hands and allow him to make plays.
He grew up playing a lot of different sports. Derek Culver, who's Bowden's teammate on the basketball team, has known Lynn for years and has always been impressed with his athleticism.
Lynn can do anything. You get Lynn a soccer ball, he's going to excel at it. Lynn is just an athlete. That's been my childhood friend since we was in the sandbox.
Once you start going to different sports, you teach you different things that you could just add back to football. If you play soccer, you get good footwork. You play basketball, you got to have leadership. Tennis, you got great hand work. Just in those aspects, it just helped me with football.
Lynn is probably one of the best competitors I've ever coached, if not the best competitor. Lynn Bowden loves to compete, and I love guys that love to compete. And coaching Lynn Bowden's been a joy for me.
Lynn first played at nearby Liberty High School, but after a coaching change there, he moved to Warren G. Harding, which actually has different chapters in its history, as Warren, Ohio used to be a much bigger town with 2 high schools.
It used to be a population in its heyday, 80, 85,000. We're probably down to about 40 now, almost basically cut in half. But, there was 2 high schools here. Warren Western Reserve High School, which was on the west side of Warren, which was called the Warren Western Reserve Raiders, and on the east side of town, which was the Warren G. Harding Panthers. So in 1990, we consolidated and became the Warren G. Harding Raiders.
Now as Lynn walks the halls, he sees history everywhere, and he's inspired to make his mark on high school football in this proud Ohio town.
It's a special thing to see. I walk through the trophy case every day, because I have a trophy up there for being Ohio Player of the Year. So to look at that, it makes me strive more for everything that I want to see. That
every kid wants to make their own mark, but I think he respects the past players. We talk about that all the time, and some of the guys, they come around. And so, we talk about the guys who played as a Warren G. Harding Panther or the guy who played at Warren Western Reserve Raiders. And so, he, 5, 10 years from now, hopefully somebody will be talking about Lynn Bowden did this, when he was at Warren G. Harding. So every young man wants to leave their mark.
While he can play a lot of positions, Lynn is almost always at quarterback for the Raiders. That way, he always has the ball in his hands and he can make things happen.
When you look at a young man and you see the way he moves, the way he can form his body, twist, turn, change direction, it doesn't take long to figure out, who the special athletes are, and he's in that category.
I really don't like to talk about myself a lot, but I'm a versatile kid. I'm very fast, probably one of the fastest in the state. I have a great arm, and I'm a great leader.
He's a dual threat quarterback. That's what he is. You can't just say he's going to run the football because we've seen him throw pinpoint balls. Now, if you want to take away the pass game, then he can hurt you in the run game. So you really have to be conscientious of how you're going to devise a game plan to stop him.
Lynn has developed into an impressive playmaker. The Raiders are one of the top teams in Ohio this season, and they have their eyes on a deep playoff run.
I love my team. I came last year. Ever since then, we had this bond, and it's just like, it just can't be broken.
I think his biggest attribute, as a head coach, what I see is his competitive spirit, his competitive nature. He hates to lose. I think one of the ways I describe him, he's kind of an alpha dog. How he goes is how we go.
For college, Lynn is taking his time deciding between scholarship offers from Michigan State, Penn State, Kentucky, Tennessee, Michigan, and many others. But a tattoo on his arm reminds him of his long-term goals.
This one right here, it's an FNB, stands for Future NFL Boys. Me, some of my cousins, some of my brothers have it, so that's something special to me. I wanted to come play high school out of the Little League. I want to play high school. I want to go to college, but that don't work out. I just go into the job field. But my ultimate goal is to get to the NFL. That'll just be a blessing that God gave me.
Lynn still has a few more months in the halls of Warren G. Harding to determine what his next move is, but he'll hope to add to that trophy case on his way out. And who knows what memories he'll make next. In Warren, Ohio, I'm Joe McCann.